What's going on, guys? inceptionxx here today, and today I'm going to be teaching you guys what I use for tactics and how it can help you guys out in FIFA as well. So basically, if you guys are not familiar with tactics, what tactics will basically allow you to do is it'll allow you to basically move your players in a specific way when you're playing FIFA. So this will be in regards to how close you want your players to be, what kind of positions you want them to be. Movement is the most important thing because I kind of noticed that in one of my defending tactics, my center backs like to split a lot or bunch up together and create a lot of this open space within the defensive area. Sorry. So I'm going to teach you guys the basics of tactics and how you should interpret it in your own way, because you shouldn't really use other people's tactics. You should really use your own tactics, but kind of like always change it to what you think should be better for yourself. So if you guys are not familiar how to do tactics, you basically go to team of the week. Then you will have to go to the offline match. So just start a challenge, go to beginner, and you're going to go to whatever team you have, doesn't matter, right? This is how you do it in an ultimate team. You have to do this every single time you go into ultimate team. You can't just have it set for life. It's not a set thing. You got to do it every time you go into ultimate team. So if your ultimate team freezes or it lags you out, you have to always do it every single time. So you go to team management, go to your custom tactics here, press A and then press X. So basically you will see all the different types of tactics here, right? Every single tactic here is important to what you want to do in the game, right? So for instance, I already have my set tactics here. You'll notice me if I stream, like I always change the defensive line, pressure, aggression, team width, shooting, all that kind of stuff. I usually change a couple of it because there's certain things that I notice in game that kind of like bother me, and I always usually change it from that. Build up play I don't really change because it's basically the way I want to play, which is fine. Chance creation sometimes I change, but defense is the one I change the most, because if you don't put the right tactics for your defense, I feel like it just opens up too much. Like before, like I was saying, I had pressure and aggression on 60, right? When I had pressure and aggression on 60, I noticed that the center backs moved out of place too much. They bunched up together, or like when they bunch up together, they move to one side and bunch up together, and they create this huge space in the middle of your center back area, right? So that's why I switched it back to 38, 38, 38, so that they don't, put pressure on the opponent, that they just stay where they're supposed to stay. And I might even continue changing it as I move along. So basically, I'm going to teach you guys exactly what each one does. It's kind of self-explanatory. It even tells you here, but I'll tell you how I kind of like interpret it into FIFA as I play. So the speed build-up play is on fast. I need to play fast. If I'm playing on bad or good gameplay, I want the build-up play to be quick. So basically, you can essentially say that's like your counter-attack, essentially, right? I have mine set to fast because I want them to move quickly. I want them to break on the attack quickly. If you have it set to like 50-ish, even the below 40s, it's on balance. So balance means that your passes will be a little bit more safe, but they won't push up as quickly. So basically, since this game is so counter-attacking based, you kind of want to have it set to high. And this is all, again, personal opinion. This is not like, it's not a general like thing for everybody, right? This is just like how I play FIFA. 67, I want them to move quickly from counterattacks, from, me receiving the ball off of them, all that kind of stuff. Your passing, I have it on mixed. So affects passing distance and support from teammates. So I have it on 40 because if I put it to like 27, some people actually do. They put it like really low because they want every single pass they make to be really close to their players. Again, I can change that possibly as the time goes on, because I might notice that I want them to be closer than what it already is. But I normally keep it on 40 because the way they kind of like positions themselves on the field is that I get enough players to be close to me, but then I get enough players that are far away from me that make good plays. Again, I might make that shorter. I would never make it like higher. I don't think I would ever make it higher myself, but I would definitely make it shorter, because passing in this game needs to be close, right? It needs to be congested. It needs to be, 1-2 plays, triangle formations, kind of like tiki-taka from Barcelona, right? That's why I have it set to 40, because mixed is kind of like that, but if players are moving away from you, I can do like driven pass from the sides, and it's always really effective, depending again on what type of gameplay that you're playing. Chance creation, this one is a really big one. people kind of get confused a little bit about this one because it's the way this one is the most important one in terms of like how your players attack, and then obviously your defense is gonna be how your players defend. So your chance creations I have set to 38. So 38 is amount of risk in pass decision and run support, right? Now I put this on normal because, and it's normal but close to safe, right? Because again, I still want them to be a little bit kind of a distance away from me, but I still want them to be really close. So I leave it more to the safe spot than I do to the risky spot. Because risky is literally just lobbing the ball forward. That's all it really is. It's just lob passes everywhere. But on 38, it's a little bit more consistent in terms of your players being close to you and your players still making runs from around you, right? I have my crossing set to 38. I honestly only use 38 because of how effective triple tap X's are in this game. The triple tap X cross in this game is super, super effective. You literally just triple tap X and you spam B like crazy and you can score goals like that instantly. It's very, very overpowered. The only reason why I have it set to 38 is because, you know, sometimes you kind of want them to, you know, go ahead and do a triple tap X, but crosses in general in this game are very inconsistent. Like you shouldn't really cross. Like I don't really cross. Like I cross like once in a while. It's not really something that I do all the time. But triple tap X's I definitely use because it's super, super effective, and it's a huge, like, you know, annoyance in the game in my opinion. But it works, and that's why I have it set to 38 because I do still want them to make those runs, but crosses in general are just useless. I like building the play off of the middle because of how much defenders open up in this game. So that's why I use cross into 38. So shooting is the tendency and frequency of shots taken. Now I don't fully understand shooting because it's really weird because like it'll be like little, normal, and then it'll be lots. So basically the way that I interpret it is it's basically like how many times you will take a long shot. You know, so for instance, if you're here, if you're on lots, it's because your players are positioning themselves to, you know, take more long shots because they're always in a position where they want to shoot from that position, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they will be in a good position to shoot, right? So I have mine to set to 55 because I'm not 100% sure if that's the case, but that's the way that I kind of see it in game, right? Like I never really change this, and when I do it, I don't really notice like this huge difference. It may be positioning wise where your players are, you know, maybe just outside the 18-yard box majority of the times for you to hit long shots. But I just keep it on 55 because it's closer to, I think it's just in between little and risky, or lots, sorry. So that's why I use it at 55. I use freeform because freeform, they just move anywhere, right? If it's chance creation, I used to have it on, I believe it's organized. When you have it on organized, it's kind of annoying because they don't move into the open space. And because, again, the defending in this game is so inconsistent in terms of control, if you have your players set to freeform, they move around the pitch better than when they're organized. If they're organized, if you have a 4-3-1-2, they will be in a 4-3-1-2 formation, I would say 75% of the time if they're attacking someone. But you don't really want that, right? You want your players to move. This is a personal opinion again. You want your players to move into the center backs in a certain way, or, you know, angle themselves to be in the middle to go for a 2.5 bar finesse shot, right? So that's why I have mine set to freeform. Now the defense I recently changed. I had the tactics set to 60 for pressure, 60 for aggression, and 50 for team width. The reason why I changed that, and I would highly recommend not using that anymore, this is a personal preference. The reason why I stopped using that is because I noticed that my center backs, they love to move apart and bunch up from one side way too much, right? So it was just creating too many gaps in the middle, and it was really, really annoying me because it was so out of my control that I was like, okay, it has to be a tactic. It can't be a game mechanic. And I changed it to 38, 38 and 38 for all three of them, and it works so much better. It's not like as inconsistent. Plays will still develop in the middle because the game revolves around you crafting plays around the middle. If you're trying to craft plays, because, you know, long shots, triple tap X's, those things are just overpowered, you know, things that we, you know, like or dislike. But because the game revolves around the middle and how much you pass the ball, pressure, aggression, and team width is all basically like bunched up into one. It's very, very narrow. It's not like too far out. So for instance, like I used to have like my team width to 50. And the reason why I had to change that was again because of my center backs. They just like they like to move out too much, and I didn't like that, right? But when I have it set to 38, they seem more bunched up in the middle, so that I don't have these inconsistencies where they move from one side or they move to another. Again, you know, people will still be able to pass your defense. They will still be able to pass that middle part of the field in your game, but this just seems more consistent for me and kind of more in my control in terms of how the players move. And then I have it set to cover. I would personally never set it to offside trap, because if your players are set to offside trap, if they move in a certain way and your opponent is through on goal, they will move forward and your opponent's player will move forward, and then you have to gain that momentum again to go and chase after him, right? So that's why I would completely never use offside trap and always use cover. If you don't use tactics in general, I would really, really recommend using cover 100%. Because again, offside trap opens up way too much on the field because the players move really, really inconsistently. So try to use cover. So if you guys are still unsure of what kind of tactics you guys want to use in FIFA, the best way to kind of tell how you want to play FIFA is by using specific squads and seasons. So if you guys play seasons, you know, sometimes you'll notice that, oh, I like the way Chelsea plays. Oh, I like the way Real Madrid plays. I like the way Borussia Dortmund plays. Now, the reason why you like the way that they play is because each team has their own set custom tactics, right? So basically, this is set to my custom tactics, right? But if I go on default, that default custom tactics is Real Madrid's default custom tactics. So if you enjoy the way Real Madrid is playing, try to use, like, copy those exact tactics and go use it in your ultimate team. Like, I'm dead serious. That's what you will do. What I did at first was I copied Borussia Dortmund's tactics and added it to my ultimate team. And the reason why I did that is because their tactics just worked so well. When they counterattacked, they counterattacked very well. Their defending was really good. But there was a lot of inconsistencies with those things, like the attacking and defending. And that's when you start to change it yourself. And you kind of like, okay, you know, I kind of want to do this more than the other. And that's when you kind of like change your own tactics. You're attacking, you're defending. Like you start to, I just put Cologne. You start to notice the specific aspects that kind of affect you as you're playing, right? But again, if you see Borussia Dortmund's tactics, they also have different tactics, right? But you can see that the pressure and aggression is high. This is like when I first started playing FIFA and I started like changing my tactics all the time. But again, I really, really enjoyed the way that they played. They played really nicely. Their movement on the pitch was really nice. But again, there's too many different aspects of why it was inconsistent. Again, the pressure and aggression I put lower, the passing I put lower. There was a lot of different things, but you work yourself off of that basically, right? Use the clubs and seasons. If you like their tactics, use their tactics for Ultimate Team, right? And then if you start noticing some inconsistencies of what you like and don't like, you know, if the player is too far away from you, lower your passing, right? So that way you can have the players to be more close to you than farther away from you, right? And that's basically it. That's the best way that I can explain tactics to you guys. Just honestly, the best thing you can do is play seasons, see the tactics that each team has. If you like the way that they play, interpret those tactics into your Ultimate Team and then adjust it as you play Ultimate Team. If you're confident and you know exactly what you want in Ultimate Team, just go to the tactics right away and you'll fix it from there. Trust me, it'll help you out so much in Ultimate Team, and you need to use tactics. I'm telling you guys, it's a must. And the biggest reason why it's a must is just one specific reason. The fact that your defense is on offside trap default, is a huge inconsistency. So you need to switch that to cover right away. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video today. If you guys did, please drop a thumbs up on it, and I'll see you guys in the next video or the stream. Peace.